So we just had the funniest bit there. The Sharper just goes 5, and like we're like suddenly me and Craft go, okay, we got to get ready for the stream, and he's like, you got a little bit more, and we're like, damn you. Anyway, I am Digital Bacon, joining the casting booth with Craftman RL, and of course, if you are looking for Pinch-a-coladas and bench players in the rain, this is the best place to be because we've got both of those here. We are going to be seeing bench players in the blue and Pinch-a-colada in the orange, and well, we've been using the term do or die, maybe a bit too liberal on this channel tonight, but this is literally the last chance for these two teams. One is going through to next week, the other, they're out. I'm sorry, you're done. You're done, skis.
Yeah, and who were the two teams we said would dominate this bracket today?
Oh, by chance, was it Pincha-a-colada and bench players?
It was, and one of them is on the brink of elimination. This is a must-win game for both of these teams. Who would have thought this at the start of the day, that a PlayStation team would be second in a team that we didn't really know too much about. Denai Piranha, also, of course, you can't forget the confetti. Absolutely storming through the bracket, undefeated so far.
Yep.
Who would have thought that coming into today? This is ridiculous.
And that first seed is now fighting up against the current second seed. Like first place is currently fighting second place for the true first place, essentially. That's just how it is. Swiss Monsters beat Denai Piranha. They then take first. Denai Piranha beat Swiss Monsters, and then they have had the perfect tournament, the perfect day to set them up for next week. And I'm looking at them now, Crafters, and I'm there going, Denai Piranha, we could be seeing them next season. Trox is trying to convince both me and Craftman that he doesn't have a big ego. Buddy, what I'm going to say is, you do have bigger ego, accept it. But if you win here, you deserve to have that big ego. You've won. You come through to the next stage. You're better than two teams. This is your chance to redeem.
To prove why you deserve to trash talk everyone all the time. This is your moment, Trox. Harness it. Collect it.
And of course, as well, if you need, because you probably do need to send your energy to Trox, boxes in chat, boxes for Troxes. Let's tell these players to get onto the pitch because we have got one best of 5 left. One best of 5 to rule them all. No, that Lord of the Rings reference, it ain't going to really fit. I try because they're not going to rule anything. That's the problem. It's the Denai Piranha who have absolutely ruled the day so far.
Exactly. Like we were debating what field to put this on, and during the break, and I said, "Oh, let's go Champions Field since this is the last game." And then Bacon said, "Isn't that a bit cruel because they're not actually going to be champions? They're just going to make it to next week."
So we've given them the very beautiful Utopia Coliseum. Definitely the best throwback.
Oh, yeah. You
got there in the end. Speaking a bit Italian then with the BBD Bobbadies, but it's not going to be Trox to get the goal. It's not just it is Phil the Machine having to pull the load along.
Yeah, and just straight out the bat, we saw Pincha-a-colada earlier on, and they kind of disappointed us a little bit, but since then, well, I was going to say they've been on track ever since then, but
I'm going to interject here, Crafters. That from Phil, brilliant. Like, I saw that and I was like, oh, you sly dog. And then there was no one there to clean up the mess, and I was like,
What I was going to say was I thought Pinch-a-colada brought it back, but they just lost 3-1 to different esports. So a comeback trail maybe for them, but you got to remember, bench players, they're on a losing streak of their own, just lost on stream to Denai Piranha 3-0 and to different esports 3-1. Last time they won a game was in round number 2. Actually, yes, sorry, round number 1 against Swiss Monsters. So both these teams only with 1 win. It is absolutely
and in round 1, isn't it, for both of them?
Way back in round 1. Yeah, for both these teams. So a 3-game losing streak, excuse me, for both these teams. One of them is going to turn it around. One of them will make it to phase 2 of the promotion relegation tournament. Will it be Pincha-a-colada, who we know can pull out some great plays? They have so much talent on that roster. just can they harness it and get it past this bench player side who are still reeling from that demolition from Deny Piranha.
To be honest, it's to be expected here. After taking 3 losses in a row, Craftman, your mental strength is going to be so drained. It is hard coming into this game for both these two teams. They've got opponents of very much the same caliber. Passing plays, for me, is going to be what will make or break these sides. Pyala clearing the ball downfield. He's wanting Karatash to pick up. Karatash, unfortunately, a little bit too short. Jizzy picking the ball up, going for the dribble. He had the boost, but unfortunately wanted the control, and so couldn't get it away. Mazels above the net. Hello goes wide. Again, little things, and it is all because that downtrodden nature. This is a dog that has been beaten, but we want to find him a new home, and that is in next week, so let's do it.
Yeah, Pincha-a-colada, I was going to say they've been defending well, but a poor clear from Trox will leave it wide open for Pyala to fire on. Mazors puts the threatening shot on, which draws Trox away, and Pyala is there for the follow-up. When Trox has... when he needs to defend like that, what you want to see really is a big shot downfield, not clearing it to the side. They just need to be more decisive in their touches and put these balls in positions where bench players cannot reach them, and especially where they can't go for a follow-up like that. And almost Pyala gets another, but just denied by the whiff. But the pressure is still on from bench players as Pincha-a-colada can't seem to break out their own half.
As someone that relies on puns and references, Crafters, you give me so many opportunities for innuendos, and I can't take them. You literally hurt me, buddy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, but that's gonna hurt as well.
That is really gonna sting as Mazors finds it from Pyala. And that was Phil Machine's opportunity. He went into the corner and drove up the wall instead of attacking on the ball. And if he got a touch there, it would have disrupted play just enough that it would have made a difference, and we could still be playing at 2-1. Unfortunately, Pincha-a-colada, their defense has broken down ever so much, and with just over a minute and a half to go, bench players seem to be on the comeback trail.
Well, it's all because they're trying to feed Mazels. Mazels is working the back line of defense and the pinnacle attack. He's doing end-to-end stuff. He's not worrying about the middle one. It's a strategy which I've seen pulled off many a time, and it does work. Let's just hope it continues to work. Good hit. It's above the net. Trox needs to get that down, and well, he will. Good demo as well coming out from Jizzy.
And you saw the demolition from Jizzy. That was essential, making sure he got that touch, and then right onto Mazors, who would have... I think he might have been a little bit too far back to get that one, but just confirming that Trox can fire an empty net. And just over a minute to go. Really back and forth, and Pincha-a-colada starting to get back into it, but Pyala putting some pressure on. Here comes Karatash over the top. Great clear from Jizzy, and that one will be put safe into the blue half for the moment.
Yeah, give a man an empty net and he'll score on it any day of the week. Unless you're me. I miss quite a lot of open nets, to be honest.
Me too, that's why we're sitting in the casting mode.
Yep, that's... Players who can't play cast. Oh. These boys, they can play. Mazors picking up the hat-trick.
And picking up the slack from his team. Great stuff, great to see from Mazors. You mentioned that they're starting to feed Mazors. I remember when we saw, much earlier on, when we saw this team against against
looking for the
Lozitag.
He's trying to read and talk, guys. It's hard.
Yes. When back in match 2, when we saw bench players against Lozitag, it was everyone feeding Karatash back then. They flipped it on their head, and now feeding Mazors has given them new life. Maybe that's the way to go and get the ball to Mazors in open space.
Ball up in the air, Phil. He's got the propeller hat and he is absolutely flying, but 2 goals still needed in this one. Mazors, big clear downfield above the net, and you can see they're retreating back in defense. They're just going to hold on out bench players, and I do not blame them at all. Ball hits the ground. Bench players take game 1 of a needed 3 here, Craftman.
Exactly, and bench players really come into their own. Doesn't really seem phased by that big loss to. It was only the last game. Doesn't seem phased by that big loss to Deny Piranha in the previous match that we saw on stream. And Pincha-a-colada. What can really be said about them? That we had so much expectation coming into today for them, and so far it's just been a little bit disappointing. Pincha-a-colada, we know the talent is there. They just need to harness it and turn it around and start blocking out bench players in the middle of the field.
So I am actually typing something to Trucks now. That might, I don't know, distract him, but we're in a break, so meh. And I will copy paste this on into Twitch chat so you guys at home can see. It is, and I quote, "Team plays, you melon." Jesus, he's going again. They've got to build up these team plays. That goal that he was given, and I'm going to say given because it did come off largely from the demo, is what we need to see more. And I don't think it's asking too much from Pinch-a-colada, because as soon as they can get those team plays, we're going to have 2 balls butting heads. And it is going to be one feast for the eyes. Karatash keeping the ball back and safe, of course. Trox lines it up in the middle. No one going to be able to get onto that, unfortunately, though. Misels, he can just clear his ball downfield into a bit of safety. And Paella now will try to hold that midfield line. Dangerous ball to the center, and Phil was going to be able to run away with it. Trox, a brilliant little follow-up into the air, does get the block and will create a bit of pressure. These 2 teams now fighting for that midfield.
They are, and Pincha-a-colada seem to be winning it at the moment as a lot of shots have came onto the blue net. Here comes Phil off the backboard and out to Jizzy. Can't make the touch, but a bit of space has been created for them. The bench players, they're happy enough to defend these touches and now have to scramble around, but you want to see them be a little bit more solid. Don't let that ball get too close to your net. You want to stop that ball really in the midfield, but great stuff from Pincha-a-colada as they keep on trucking.
They do indeed. Trox not going to be able to get the goal. Paella was there. Trox is going to allow his teammates to come in. That's good. Communication is starting to be picked up. You can definitely feel the Pinch-a-colada side a lot stronger in this one. Off the wall, Misels. Didn't actually get that communicated that Karatash was coming in. You can see from the double commit. Maybe bench players, maybe a little bit overconfident in this one, Craftman.
Just a little bit. Maybe the confidence is going to their head, but there's Trox. The pass from Jizzy, and we wanted some team plays. Trox puts it in the offensive zone, and Jizzy just drops it on a dime. Back to Trox, it was flying in anyway. And the defense can't make heads nor tails of it. And finally, Pincha-a-colada are pulling out those team plays. The melon has listened.
I actually just got a response off that goal, and I'm not allowed to say that on stream.
PM me it later.
3 minutes left on the clock, and it's already 1-0, nearly 1-all there. Karatash not going to be granted that one, even though he did work for it. Paella only averted the danger for so long. Karatash had to come in. Trox squaring up against him, the bouncer. You can see Paella lingering in the midfield, but that was all an elaborate ruse. Misels gets the goal, gets the equalizer.
And big whiffs from everyone on the Pincha-a-colada side, just leaving that wide open. And I don't know who that was flying in right at the end there, but they really should have been going on to the back post, not flying in. I believe it might have been Jizzy, as he was just panicking, trying to get a good enough touch away. Just ends up missing that one. But bench players back into their element as the pressure turns on its head. And they go for net once again. Into the middle was Karatash off the pass from Paella, but not able to finish it and send it home. We'll leave this at a tie game for the moment.
The pass up, blocked by Misels. He needs to get another hit downfield. Unfortunately, he gets caught up on the wall. Boost taken from Karatash in front of him. So it's going to be the slow retreat. Pyla wanting to build a little bit of pressure. And Trox clears it down the center. Guardian Angel in that goal, though.
That was a big mistake in defense from Trox as he, like you said, cleared into the middle where two bench players were sitting, waiting for that one. But maybe just unexpectedly as that one rattles off the post, and then another one. Another opportunity missed from bench players. We've seen so many of them in all three games that we've had them on streams. Just opportunities created and not taken advantage of when we remain at 1-1.
I've just noticed as well, Phil's changed his name from Phil Machine to Phil Not So Machine. These lads, like I said, today have taken a bit of battering to their egos. They're probably a little bit downtrodden, and this is going to be the pickup for one team and maybe not so much for the other. They're going to have to come back next season for the Challenger Cups. And, you know, they've worked so hard now, but they're going to have to work hard again. They're going to have to grind for it. You have to earn victory. It is not given to you. You can definitely feel it so far in this game. 1-1, 1 apiece. Who is going to etch out the win here? We are still trying to find out. 40 seconds remaining. Trucks goes wide across the goal, trying to prolong the danger for his teammates to come in and help on out. We'll send this high into the air with no boost. Is in a bit of a sticky situation. Gets a bump onto Mysores, breaking up the attack, breaking up the build-up. But unfortunately, more help needed. Cross net and good touch there from Phil.
It is so back and forth right now. Complete deadlock. Could see only our second overtime of the day. But this one looking threatening from bench players is up in the air. Paella will have one more shot. Here comes Mariors in for the denied by the crossbar. And this ball looking to touch the ground, and we will go to overtime.
Seeing a lot of spam in Twitch chat as well. Support being granted out. I do believe that's towards Mysores at the moment with the purple bleeding hearts. But remember, Pincha-a-colada needs your help as well. They're currently a game down in this best of 5. Karatash looking to make it 2-0 in this best of 5. Clear from Trox. He's got to follow through on something. He's struggling for boost. Needs to jump out. Needs to get the pass. That would be lined up in the center, but Phil's not ready. Karatash down the center, and Phil that time ready, but he's only able to knock it back into his own quarter. Trox, a great hit though. Will be able to buy some time for rotations to be set up.
Mysores was waiting for boost in the corner there, but that was a good opportunity for Pincha-a-colada to take this overtime. Mysores just had nothing left in the tank, but his teammates were there to support him. This is something that bench players were lacking in their game against Denied Piranha. And now finally finding it here in this match against Pincha-a-colada is those team plays. Is what Pincha-a-colada, we've been criticising them a lot for, as Trox really wanting to take control of this overtime. Now he finds Phil in the middle, and the big long arcing shot will go wide. Might have been saved regardless. And a minute and a half played in overtime. Still no closer to finding a winner.
Yep, you said we've been harsh on the lads, and that's because we're pretty much both no fluff casters, aren't we, crafters? We just say it how it is. Honesty is the best policy in my book. They are improving. They have to face the harsh reality, and that's just by brute force. You're not going to get the win. They're looking for passes. Boost is a problem for both sides. They're sort of weirdly snatching away, trying to set up.
Oh!
Wow.
I honestly, as soon as Karatash chips this up, I could say, all right, that's a goal, because he had a man upfield. Phil was focusing on him, thinking the bump was going to come in, and he ends up faking it regardless. No one knew where that ball was going to end up, except Karatash, as he secures the second win for bench players. And now they are only one win away from next week's challenge of the league, of the season 1 TCS eSports League teams. as they fight for a spot in Season 2.
And you got to remember, whoever goes through to next week has then got a week to work on their problems. They're going to be able to come back renewed. Okay, they've got to go up against one of the two more dangerous teams because, of course, they will be third and fourth seed going into it. So they will have to go up against. And I'm just picking it up once again because I did forget. It's going to be either Silent Gaming or Riftmasters. I would say it's a hard one here because Silent Gaming is all of the sides on TCS this season were strong. Definitely, though, for me, Elvet's looking the weakest. There's unfortunately only 2 wins from them. Monks left until very late, so maybe that 7th place finish for them. If you come out second seed, you've got to go up against them, and that for me is a little bit okay. You do have the 7th place team, but they were looking good, so you've got to prepare for those team plays, a strategy which can just stop them. You know, a very high demo, high bump strategy, very high pressure. Will be able to break the Monks if you can just factor that in. But we're just going to have to see. Each of the teams in TCS have very distinct strategies and very distinct styles. So I'm going to say these teams coming into next week, just do your research on them, come up with a strategy and purely focus to beat them. Do not care about how you normally play. Come up with a strategy to beat these teams and then just stick to it. Maybe come up with a second one in case it doesn't work. But you've got to get there first, and that is what is coming down to this. Bench players 1 win away from going into next week here, Craftman.
Yeah, and the last couple of games that we've seen them in on stream here, we've really counted them down and out because they didn't really put in a great performance. But now, the nature of this round robin only means that they only need 1 more win. They only need 2 wins out of the possible 5 that they need to get in. And both of these teams sitting on 1, you just need that last one. And Pincha-a-colada, man, what has happened to these guys? Because I think you said to them before that second game started, do your team plays, ya melon. To quote your thing to Trox.
Yeah.
And it worked for a bit. It worked for like the first 2 or 3 minutes. And then they just broke down into chaos, essentially, trying to feed Trox again. Go back to what works, guys. Go back to your team plays. Communicate with each other. Yeah, have a wee laugh at Trox's expense, hopefully. But the main thing is work as a team, and you can get around this bench players team because we've seen how team plays work around bench players, and it is really effective. Try this time. Well, you're going to have to try this time because you got one life left. No more chances for you. 1 more loss will send you out of this promotion tournament.
I'm still giggling a little bit about what that hold-up was over.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just can't believe.
Yeah, we'll keep that one quiet.
Yeah. So, game number 3, and it looks like a potential sweep is on the cards. Pinch-a-colada, the only people that can change that. They have got to direct the course of fate into the path of a reverse sweep. Mysores looking to direct this ball all around the world, actually. Not in 80 days. It took roughly about 10 seconds this time. Paella looking for Karatash. Big clearance comes out downfield. Mysores there to pick it up, and Trox does get it wide. That is off to Phil. Oh!
Finally, the team plays from this Pincha-a-colada side. Trox to Phil, and then just that long arcing shot. You never really know when it's about to dip. If you know baseball, it's kind of like a slider in baseball where you put some backspin on it. It looks like it's going straight in, and it just dips right to the end. I've lost half our audience pretty much. but great stuff from Phil, and poor defense from bench players will result in a Pincha-a-colada 1-0 leads in the first minute.
Was it Syntax I heard played baseball or something? Or was it basketball? It was baseball. Huh.
Well, there you go. If Syntax
You've got
watching,
one person in chat. There you go.
Thank you, Syntax. Thank you. Syntax knows exactly what I'm talking about. Hopefully.
3 minutes 40 remaining. 1-0 to Pinch-a-colada. The start of something good for them. Here it's downfield, and Meisel's unfortunately not going to get a great touch on that. Straight down to his corner, and this is dangerous. Trot's coming through just wide of net. He wanted the second touch. Karatash picking it up, getting a very, very nice little 1-2, but will not result in a goal. As Phil picks it up, sends it downfield. They're starting to get sloppy on their breakaways. Pinch-a-colada, they've just got to clean that up, and we could see something fantastic from them.
But I will say bench players looking a little bit sloppy as well, and especially in the midfield, they're not picking up balls that they really should, and they're letting Pincha-a-colada go into their half a little bit too much for my liking. There's a wide open net as everyone from bench players was up, and Trox finds the long goal, and 2-0 will go in favour of Pincha-a-colada. This is their comeback trail, and they need to hold on now.
Defense MIA, right there. Not to be found. Error 404. Restart the PC.
Fit.
That's it.
They blue screens. The defense is completely blue screens.
Unfortunate for the blue side as well. Phil looking to get all the way down. Mysores, good block from him. And Karatash. Oh no, that is unfortunate. A whisper away, but Trox, the cheeky one that he is able to get it over.
Oh, and another, just everyone completely committed to stopping that ball going to the side, or maybe trying to pinch it into the wall and get it back upfield. Bench players, like I said, they are being a little bit too sloppy, especially when this ball travels back into the blue half. They're just not as solid as they were, and they're trying. And now down 3-0 early in this game. You've got to think they're going to start a few desperation plays, but that's not how you're going to beat this Pincha-a-colada team. You've got to capitalize on their mistakes. Just play the game that you have been playing because it's worked so far. But I'll say Pincha-a-colada, to all their credit, they have stepped their game up and they've listened to us. They have started doing those essential team plays.
And it's working. You can clearly see it. Who knows, maybe as well they were hustling, holding back on this because they like the pressure. They just basically want to create a story. I get it. You're divas. It's fine. 3-0 the current standings. 2-0 if you're looking at the series, like the whole games. And it's the start of a comeback here for Pincha-a-colada. Bench players, 1 minute 30 to get 3 goals. It's not unheard of, I will say. So Pincha-a-colada not out of the woods just yet. Ooh. Vital miss. Oh,
Karatash. We've said about Pincha-a-colada not taking opportunities when they've had them. That was on a silver platter for him, and he just couldn't make the touch. That is essential. If you're going to 3-0 sweep this Pincha-a-colada team, you need to make touches like that. And clearly, with a minute left, that's not going to happen. We're definitely going to go to Game 4, especially when everyone was away upfield and Phil could fire an empty net from his own half.
Yep, I'm going to write that in my notepad right now. Game 3 goes to Pincha-a-colada. 4-0. Crafters, I can't see this. I can't see the comeback from bench players here. I reckon instead of focusing on trying to get back in this game, you know, instead of focusing on 4 goals, they're just going to focus on their strategy and make it so game number 4, they win. Or Absolutely. They could focus on the 4 goals.
They could focus on 4 goals in 3 goals now in 45 seconds. It's not unheard of, but I think bench players, they really want to put their focus into what's going to happen in game number 4. Pincha-a-colada has just pretty much shut them down from start to finish here in this game, taking control from the outset. And now, one thing bench players need to think about is what were they doing well in games 1 and 2 that they've not done here in game 3. I think all that's gone wrong is that they've missed touches and missed challenges when they really needed to. You see them whiffing balls, and that's another one as Jizzy can fire way on an open net. 17 seconds left, and bench players, pick yourselves up, guys, because you're going to go to game 4, and by the looks of things, Pincha-a-colada is on the resurge.
So the problem with that defense there, right at the end, was two players actually went out to try and make the block on that initial hit which Trox left, and then all three tried to turn around. It's not structured. You've got to call it. One player goes to the inception, one stays back in net to make the save. Decisions just not right here for bench players in game number 3. They got overconfident, I do think, coming into this one. They've been slapped back down to earth. Game 4, I reckon we're looking at a 50-50 game here.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Anything can happen. It is now down to... Excuse me, my mouth's getting really dry now. Pincha-a-colada. One more game, we'll put it to game 5, and these guys, they definitely have the talent. We've been saying that throughout. Now they're starting to hook up with each other down the field and where it matters in the middle as well. Bench players are trying to work around that, but we've seen all day long when the team that they're up against starts working well as a team, going for passing plays, infield and upfield, that is just when they break down. They're not able to read them too well, and they're not given the space to do what they need to do.
Yeah, good analysis. Again, can't fault that. Bench players for me, though, I will say, they were moving down into attack way as a group too much. Like, if you notice, there was a lot of a gap at the back end. Like, the ball one too many times in that series was just an up and over, and was a scary threat to them.
It definitely was, and you got to feel... I mentioned it during the game as well. Bench players, way too many whiffs in both offense and defense. And it's the defensive whiffs that really break a team and really define a team. How you recover, really, from a player whiffing in your own half. When a team like Pincha-a-colada are on the resurgence and they're putting so many opportunities and so many shots onto your own net that you just can't really deal with it. Can we see a comeback from bench players, or will Pincha-a-colada keep their momentum going and force a game 5 here in a crucial match that decides who is moving on to next week?
We'll have to find out. Already 20 seconds underway into game number 4. Massively important one if you're on the Pincha-a-colada side. And well, it would be the closing of the door for bench players. If they can get the win, they just want to shut this out now. They don't want to go to a game 5 when all momentum rightfully would be with Pincha-a-colada. Paella into the corner. Can't keep a hold of it. That's very nice from Phil. He's going... Oh, it's so close to being good, and it was just denied. Same there. One of the big problems for Pincha-a-colada is rearing its ugly head here, Craftman. Again, it is finishing.
It is finishing the plays. That is the big sticking point, really, for both these teams. That they've not been able to finish, but they're still finally into the heart of the goal. But it was the defense that just broke down at the end. Mazors with a poor clear upfield, actually looking for Karatash, but just didn't expect Phil to come over the top there. Great sniffing out on the interception from Phil. And Pincha-a-colada up by 1. Might hold. And if it does, we will find ourselves in game 5.
Hold the door. That's what you've got to do, Pincha-a-colada. You cannot allow anything through from the opposite side. You need game number 5, and it is a need. It is not a want. They just need it a little bit more now. 3 minutes 30 remaining. 1-0, and that was a tricky situation to be in. Again, once again, I was talking about the problems in the backline. Trox trying to pull off a cheeky little move there, but he applied so well to Pincha-a-colada there, where they've just got to make sure that they do not leave anyone left. Meisel's getting the steal off of Paella, but let's just call that a securing of it. Look at this once again. Karatash being a nuisance, making Trox jump early, and Trox going out when really, I would say in that situation, he needs to be back in net. He cannot go out to try and intercept the ball. You've got to try and create so much more time for yourself there, dude. It's dangerous now. Bench players have got the lead, and generally in these situations, when they fall back, Pincha-a-colada, they fall hard. They've got to get a goal now, tie things up, and make sure that they have the chance for game number 5. Ball rolling up the wall. Good clearances. It is down to the middle, but you can see they're making it slow and awkward and in between players, bringing that third man into the rotation. Karatash hitting it high, wants to follow on through, but that's not going to be allowed by Phil. Fortunate little whiffs will cost. The ball's lingering about in the midfield. Paella with a good pass out. Karatash can't reach it. Interceptions well better. So much better coming out from Pincha-a-colada.
I have returned, by the way, sorry.
Yeah, I saw you. I can see you on the webcam, buddy. Chat might have not realised. They might just, well, they could have probably figured out that you're DQ'd or something, I mean.
My food was here. It's a burrito.
You can get delivery burritos?
In Glasgow, you certainly can.
I am
jealous. Something that's getting delivered right now looks to be a bench player's resurgence. Up 2-1 in this game. Less than 2 minutes to go now, and paella, another brilliant food you could probably get delivered if you have a look in on various delivery apps here in Glasgow. Looking to hold his team. Not really been one of the big stars here for bench players, but he's done his work whenever he can, and has put both Karatash and Mysores in great positions throughout the day. But now he needs to start off with a little bit of a defensive play as he's one man back. No one there to follow up again from Pincha-a-colada. It's so essential. They've been putting these balls in the middle and just no one has been there for the final touch to get it into the net. And that is something that Pincha-a-colada need to work on and need to fix in the final minute of this game.
I think it also helped the pacing of their passes. Like, they seem to be hitting it hard, which will make it into a difficult place, or they're hitting it too slow and maybe a little bit too lofted. It's an awkward one for Pincha-a-colada. 40 seconds remain. They have to find a goal to stay alive. Otherwise, bench players go on through to next week. Trox, fortunate little whiff, makes up for it very nicely over to Phil, who can clear it all the way downfield. Karatash, that's not the greatest clearance though. Oh, this is dangerous now as Mysores puts it as a bouncer. Jizzy not going to be able to get the block, and this is Mysores. They've just got to play the keep away game now. The boys in blue. Bench players just have to make sure they don't get scored.
Oh, double commit might end their run. That was the essential play that they needed to make in Pincha-a-colada, and they have 2 men go up for it and 2 men miss, and bench players will win this 2-1, and they will go on to phase 2 of the TCS promotion relegation.
That's it. You have to do the Challenger Cups and you have to do the group stage of the relegation, the round robin, to cut those 6 teams down to 4. And now we have our 4. It is going to be Denai Prana, the Swiss Monsters, Different Esports, benched players. I do believe I'm looking at, yep, and that is going to be it. That is all she wrote for these 6.
Man, what a turnaround for all these guys. What a tournament this has been, or a day this has been. Denai Piranha, fantastic run. Ended up going undefeated as they took down Swiss Monsters 3-0. Swiss Monsters in second, a resurgent team. We didn't really expect much from them, but fantastic work from the guys on the consoles. Different Esports, great on them. Poor start to the day, but they ended up turning around in the end and finally benched players. We counted them out pretty much when we saw them in round number 2 and round number 4. But against Pincha-a-colada, we thought they might have struggled, but they just dominated from start to finish, and they fully deserve a place in phase 2 of the promotion relegation.
And Pinch-a-colada is going to be one of those teams which we expect to see to come through from the next Challenger Cups. They're a good enough team. Today, it felt they just weren't linking like they should have, and it's hurt them. Lustig, I imagine the very same again, because when we saw them earlier, when they beat bench players, they looked good. They just then, unfortunately, probably lost it. I mean, they went against the two strongest teams after that, which meant when they came up against different esports, where they lost 3-2, they might have just lost a little bit of flavor about them. They just unfortunately didn't have that will. So once again, in the right order, it's going to be Denied Piranha taking first, Swiss Monsters taking second, different esports come out third, and bench players squeak on in with the fourth place. Unfortunate for Lustig and Pincha-a-colada, but hopefully we shall see them in future Challenger Cups come out on top. Guys, we're talking about these Challenger Cups because you can enter them as well. Unfortunately, this season is done and dusted with the entries. The Challenger Cups were done last weekend, so no more chances there. But keep your eyes open over on the Twitter at TCS eSports League. Make sure to go follow that because we'll be posting all the information, of course, not only when we go live, not only when the Challenger Cups have their signups ready, but every little bit of information about the TCS eSports League is posted there. So make sure to go give that a follow. But from myself and Craftman, we unfortunately have no more games to cast, so we have to call it a close. So we'd love to say a massive thank you, of course, to our sponsor, TCS, as well as a massive thank you to all the players that have signed up, taken part into this. A massive thank you to you guys watching at home. And then from me and Crafters, of course, a big thank you to the absolute G behind the scenes, Sharper, with all this production tonight, as well as providing the moderation. You've been great, dude. But until next Sunday, which I think Jane might be back on that one for. I don't know, but I will definitely be back for it, Craftman. We'll see you then. Toodles.
Bye.
Hallo, hører Sie mich? Ich brauche dringend Hilfe. Wir haben einen Unfall gehabt. Er hat starke Schmerzen.
Keine Sorge, Sie sind in guten Händen.
Vielen Dank.
Egal wo, egal wann, echte Hilfe ist immer an Ihrer Seite. Werden Sie jetzt Mitglied mit 20% Einführungsrabatt.